Welcome to early in the morning. So this is a much requested vlog of a day in my life. So it starts off at 10 to 6. I get ready, I put on really baggy warm clothes, and I'm usually in the car by 10 past 6 to drive to the yard. It wasn't actually that cold on this day, just a little bit of frost. And then I walk up to the stables, pop the light on, and see Rue's little nose poking over the stable door. Morning, Rue! So, you might notice that this is Rue in the stable and not Tissy. Reason being, Rue did not like being left in the field by himself. He ran around, he was very silly, he was whinnying lots, he wasn't getting much rest, and actually he injured himself in the process. So Tissy is now living out, and Rue comes in so that Tissy can have her massive fibre beet feed in the field with her. She doesn't need to come in, she's fine in the weather and things, and she's rugged up. She just needs to have her haylage alternative. So Rue has been living the cushy life all stabled. So it's pretty dark when I go up to the field. Sometimes I do wear a head torch if it's super dark, but actually my night vision is pretty good, so I didn't get any footage of taking Rue into the actual field. But I come down, I grab my wheelbarrow, and the first job on the list of the day is to muck out the stable. Now I like mucking out in the morning because it means I get the bedding all out the way for when I want to ride later, because obviously I use my stable as a kind of a grooming area, tacking up area. I use here the blue horse ribbon bedding. I love how easy it is to just kind of sift the poo out. So I don't use very much a week. I only have to put one new bag in a week. And it's also really good for the wet. So you'll see in a second that it literally just takes out the wet in like one solid block. And I can just shovel it straight out. Now, once I've taken all the poop and the pee out, I brush the stable up and put all the bedding up on the side so I can use the stable for whatever I need to do later. And wherever there's been a wee, like the bedding soaks up most of it, so it's never like wet underneath, but you can just see the patch where the wee has been. And all I do is I get like a little clay deodorizer and I just sprinkle that over where Rue has weed. And it just means that the stable never gets like odory. It always smells really fresh and nice. Okay, and there we are. I leave my wheelbarrow in the stable ready to put on the muck heap the next day, and I drive back home. Now, I usually split my morning, so day on and day off. I usually have about 20 minutes now, once I've done the stables, to work out, or I have like a rota of housework that I do, that I spend 20 minutes doing, and I literally just put a timer on my phone, put some music on, and I do whatever task I'm meant to do, like hoover or boring stuff like dusting or putting away dishes or whatever. And then I usually leave the house at about 7:30 to get to work on time. This was a particularly pretty morning actually. So I work as a full-time physiotherapist. I work from 8 till 4, 5 days a week. And I work at a private company called Dorset Orthopaedic, who mostly manage amputees, but also non-amputees that have been through really complex traumas. And a lot of our patients are going through legal cases, so they've got a lot going on. They spend all week with us, so we do an intensive residential rehab package where they have like a full MSK, MOT. We go through their goals, and they'll spend kind of a week with us, go away for a few weeks, have another week with us to kind of upgrade their skills and stuff until they're at whatever goal they need to be. And on their last week, sometimes if their like goal is to go snowboarding or get back on a horse or go running, then we'll take them to do that. So actually it's a really fun job, and I get to do lots of cool stuff in the week. I like to get into clinic just a little bit earlier than my start time because my first patient can be at 8 a.m. and I like to have a little bit of time to sit down, drink a cup of tea and just have a look at what's happening that day. So I finish at 4 o'clock and normally get into my riding stuff at work, much to Emily, the other physio's comedy value of the many different socks that I wear. And I drive straight to the yard and get there about 4:30. So first thing, I need to get my wheelbarrow out the stable. And I just go round to the muck heap, pop that up, and then I'll start to do the feeds. This wheelbarrow is not the best tipper in the world. Oh, so I put the bed down here because actually I'm not going to ride tonight. Rue is actually having the physio for an hour, and I didn't film it at all because it's the first time this physio has been to treat any of my horses, and I thought it would be a little bit weird for her to be like, first time she's met me, go, can I film you? So I actually put the bedding down before bringing Rue in. Here's my not great at tipping wheelbarrow, but at least it's so high that actually it always tips to the top. You just have to completely flip it over to get everything out, because if you do it half and wait for it to slide out, it just doesn't happen. Once I have put the wheelbarrow back, time to make up all the feeds. So at the moment I am feeding a combination of Bailey's performance balancer. Rue is on the Ease and Excel mix. Tissy is on the Ease and Excel cubes, and I also have a joint supplement, and they both have a mix of fibre beet and speedi beet in with that. And that's what they have kind of over the winter months when they're being supplemented with haylage and they're not just on grass. Once I've made up the feeds, I then soak the feed for the next day. So I put the speedi and the fibre beet into the buckets for the next day and make sure that they're ready. Then I grab my hay nets that I've filled up the day before and haul them up. It doesn't look that bad on camera, but actually this hill is quite steep, and I have to take them all the way up there. I know. At least it gives me a little bit of extra exercise. Hi guys. Little Tissy and Rue.
Hey Bonnies.
They're always waiting there. They're like, hi. So you'll see on my hay nets, I clip the kind of the string that closes the hay net to the underneath, so they work as little backpacks, but it also means that I don't have to tie them in. I can literally just clip them in, put them on my back and clip them back out, and actually when it's dark and cold it makes it so much easier than tying and untying rope and nets. Once the nets are in, I bimble back down to the barn to pick up Tissy's massive bucket of feed. So because of her arthritis in her jaw, she really struggles to chew now. So in the winter months when she can't just eat grass, she'll have, as you can see, she's got ad-lib haylage if she wants it, but to keep condition on her, she has a big stub scoop of fibre beet and a big scoop of speedi beet, and she'll eat that overnight while greedy Rue is snoozing in the stable. And then I take Rue to the wash box. I wash off his legs and his feet, and I always do this. I know there are two schools of thought, whether you leave them dry and brush it off or wash it off. But because I usually ride at night, and I ride him booted, then I need to wash it off anyway, and then they dry overnight. Now, if it's been wet in the day or his rug's wet, I will change his outdoor rug to a stable rug. But we're being really lucky so far, and our January has been a really lovely winter. So fingers crossed it remains that way for February. So I wash his legs off, I pick out his hooves, and if ever I think kind of he needs it, especially over winter, I'll put the Kevin Bacon, like the hoof solution onto the bottom as well, just to keep them nice and fresh. And then I bring him in, and he has a nice little munch overnight. And he's actually stabling really well. Most mornings he is actually lay down snoozing, and I turn on the light and his little eyes are like blinking like, I don't want to get up. But once Rue is put away, I go back to the barn to fill up my hay nets for the next day. I like to make sure that I kind of do this and everything is prepped, so that actually if I'm in a rush or anything the next day, then I can kind of skip filling hay nets. And I actually find it really therapeutic now. I used to really dislike filling hay nets, but I'm actually quite a fan now because I'm sad. But as you can see, I literally just knot the top, clip it back on, and they are ready to go for tomorrow. Once all the jobs are done, and you'll be happy to know, Rue got a full thumbs up from the physio. I give him a little kiss, a good night on the nose, turn his light off, and we are done for the day.